AI will sit. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's start with Vince, though. He's on an absolute tear right now.
Well, one is better than none. And the way Vince Carter is playing, certainly these people will get their money's worth because Vince has been playing out of this world, and he's doing it in every sort of way, inside, outside, drives to the basket, sometimes of the spectacular variety. And Vince right now, to him, this game is in slow motion, and that's a good thing because when the game's in slow motion, it becomes a lot easier. He is playing that good right now, Ian. You look at the numbers against the Pistons the other afternoon, he filled it up. Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, you name it. He carried the Nets.
Well, for Philadelphia, Allen Iverson has been carrying them for quite some time. He made the trip here to the Jersey area, but was told to go home. I don't want to get into graphic detail, but wasn't pretty. And Iverson on his way back to Philadelphia. Who else can step forward for this 76ers team? Who do the Nets have to worry about?
Well, obviously it changes things a lot, but they have capable players. And when you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, who are those guys? Well, it starts with guys like Mark Jackson. They're more of a power player, but can step out to 15 feet. Kyle Korver has become an NBA player. Tremendous range on his jump shot, does a little bit more. And, of course, Kenny Thomas on the break and inside has given the Nets at times fits. He's a very physical type of ball player, can do a lot of different things. And let's not forget Willie Green, who will step in for Allen Iverson. He's a guy, as you look at the numbers, that one time stepping in for Allen scored a career-high 32 points. So don't forget about him. Those guys are pretty good.
Nets trying to make up some ground within the Atlantic, looking for the W tonight against the 76ers. Can Vince Carter continue his torrid play? How will Philly respond without Iverson? And can Jason Kidd take advantage? Much more to come on Yes.
I pull the floor mats out and I stick them under the wheels.
I use salt, rock salt, table salt, sea salt, kosher salt.
I do Pilates. I shovel out.
I go forward and reverse and forward and reverse.
I use granola.
Forward and reverse.
Sand.
Kitty litter.
I call a tow truck.
Me? I just step on the gas.
Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Available in every class of sedan and wagon. For whatever the tri-state area throws at you. We understand. We live here, too.
How about McDonald's for dinner? Surprise me.
If your boyfriend said surprise me, what would that mean?
I don't have a boyfriend.
Fruit and yogurt parfait and a side salad. What do you think of that?
I like McChicken.
McChicken and a parfait. How did you know?
Get your McFamily 4-pack, 4 game tickets, 4 meal vouchers, and an entry to the McFamily Basketball Clinic Sweepstakes. Our next McFamily game is Friday, February 25th, as the Nets take on the Charlotte Bobcats at 7:30. Call 1-800-3-GO-NETS.
This spring, get ready for another historic Yankee season on the Yes Network.
See ya! A game-time pinch-hit home run!
First, spring training marks the start of over 135 games on Yes, with a look at the new power in pinstripes, including a season preview with Yankees 2005. Then the regular season opens in prime time with the world's greatest rivalry as they...
And we're playing against somebody else who scores 90 points. We still lose. So it's not just me. And I understood that a long time ago. And I took hits in high school. My junior year, I was averaging 25-plus points a game. My senior year, I dropped to 22. Oh, Vince is not the scorer we thought, blah, blah, blah. My rebounds went up, my assists went up. Didn't talk about that. So I'm more of a team player. And I believe in team, and I want everybody to really enjoy the winning.
Well, Vince, you're not in high school anymore. Sixers and Nets, starting lineups, opening tip, when we come back on Yes.
Ford, the most powerful line of the best-selling vehicles on the planet. Now starting at just $199 a month for a Ford Explorer Sport Track. A well-equipped 4x4 XLT edition for an incredibly low $199 for a limited time.
My sister was murdered. She talked about demons.
He was her only hope.
Mr. Constantine, I need to see what she saw.
She was his only salvation.
You do this, there's no turning back.
Matt's really not going to help.
Now,
they were after you.
They're about to go through hell.
Whatever happens, don't look.
Constantine, rated R, starts Friday, February 18th.
The Sloman Shield is who businesses turn to when they need security. With state-of-the-art video surveillance, fire detection and sprinkler monitoring, to the latest in security access control and custom burglar alarm systems. Whether you need to protect any business, any size, or even your home, call 1-800-ALARM-ME to get your Sloman security solution. Shield it all with the Sloman Shield today.
Shield it all, the Sloman Shield.
The Infiniti FX and new G35 sedan with intelligent all-wheel drive. A system so advanced, it automatically changes when conditions change. For all-wheel drive traction when you need it, and rear-wheel drive handling when you don't. Intelligent all-wheel drive from Infiniti.
Nets basketball on Yes is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Quality Ford store with the best-selling vehicles in America. And by PartyPoker.net, the world's largest poker school. Second game of a season-high 5-game homestand for the Nets. Let's check out the Nissan starting lineups. Vince Carter up front with Nenad Krstić, Jason Collins, Jacques Vaughn, and Jason Kidd are the guards. And for Philadelphia, no Allen Iverson tonight. Kyle Korver, Samuel Dalembert, the Seton Hall product, Kenny Thomas across that front line. Willie Green gets the start, second year from Detroit Mercy, with the rookie Andre Iguodala, the only Sixer to start every game for Jim O'Brien's team this season. Sixers are 1-4 without Allen Iverson this year, 7-12 with Green in the starting lineup. And for the Nets, a golden opportunity as they enter action. 3.5 games behind Boston in the Atlantic Division, 3 games behind Philadelphia. Joe Forte, the veteran, Ed Malloy, Scott Wall, the officiating crew.
Now, tough to make up for losing 29 points a game as Philadelphia will have to, but again, this is part of an NBA season. Sometimes you have to deal with adversity. The Nets know all about that with injuries. Right now, Allen out sick at home.
Iverson was named a starter to the Eastern Conference All-Star team after the recent fan voting, and could be having a tough time getting over the Philadelphia Eagle loss.
Well, it was probably tough for everybody in Philadelphia, but at least they got there. Not everybody can say that.
Is that what you're going with?
I guess. Try to make them feel better.
Sixers control the tip, and Dalembert aggressive to the hole.
Sam Dalembert, former Seton Hall Pirate, played in this building quite a bit. Very athletic, a shot blocker. Good quick move to the hole there.
First offensive set for the Nets. Vince Carter, short on a 3.
Was surprised now when he misses.
Carter coming off that 41-point effort is high as a net. Thomas inside the arc, booking.
Thomas, versatile player, power player, but also you saw the jump shooting abilities. 15, 18 feet, not afraid.
And Kelly, there is that other theory in the NBA. When you lose your star player, others feel the pressure to step forward and get it done.
They play more freely, and certainly with Allen Iverson, he draws a lot of attention.
Kidd lines it up, and no good for 3. Last touch by Krstić, out of bounds.
I will say this, Ian, the opposing coaches hate this. So if you're Lawrence Frank, guarantee you, he said more than once, he gets a little afraid when the other team loses their best player, in this case the league's leading scorer, and you kind of tend to see your players let down a little bit.
Willie Green handling it against Vaughn. There's Green, offensive-minded player. Thomas now leaning jump shot. No good. And the Nets bring it up in a hurry. Kidd picked up by Iguodala. Vaughn against Korver.
They're a little bit of a mismatch here, picking up people, Philadelphia defensively.
Off the diagonal feed, Collins, the jump shot, sticks it.
Dalembert late in getting out, and Collins just stepped out, open from 12 feet, calmly sank that one down.
Collins comes in shooting it at 42% from the field, but that jumper has improved in recent weeks.
Well, everybody's jumper has improved in recent weeks. That's why the Nets have been winning consistently. Low turnovers, Ian, and high shooting percentage as a team.
There is Green using the Thomas screen off the penetration and the flip.
Now, we've seen Willie Green in the past coming off the bench, and he certainly has a scoring mentality. He's a physical player. You see the body, and he gets an opportunity. He has stepped in once before, as I mentioned at the top, with 32 points.
And a 6-2 Philadelphia lead. Carter in some trouble. Able to get it back. Carter against Korver, 8 to shoot. Spin. And puts it in.
Makes it look easy at times, and Vince a quick move, and shots like that have been going for him since he's become a net.
First deuce of the night for Carter. Thomas putting it on the floor. Spill out. Offensive foul as Vaughn took the hit.
Vince Carter matched up this time against Korver's spin move, and not an easy shot. Makes it look easy, and then defensively you step in, and that's a mistake by Kenny Thomas. Good job by Jacques Vaughn. But Thomas, you got to expect people to come over, stop on a dime, rather than get the foul.
Oh, gorgeous feed. Kidd with the blind pass to Kristich, and a chance for 3.
If you're ready, you'll get the ball. Good example here. Kidd, little dive to the basket. Kristich, good catch. And Kidd, a little flip. Count the bucket.
Jason Kidd, all-time assist leader now in Nets history after the performance on Saturday against Detroit. And Kristich unable to complete the three-point play. Tied at 6, 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Green angles off, met by Collins. That means Thomas is open. How to redirect that shot.
Yeah, that was a little strange from our angle behind it. Started out right and threw a curveball up there, nearly went back in.
Chance to take the lead. Kristich one-on-one with D'Alembert. Carter thought about it. Iguodala, quick hands and a steal.
Tremendous defensive player.
Iguodala to the rim.
He's an athlete, plain and simple. You know, the numbers don't necessarily jump out at you, but what he is an all-around solid player. Defensively, steals, can score a little bit, pretty good outside shooter. He does whatever it takes for Jimmy O'Brien over there on the Sixer bench.
Number 9 pick in the first round this past year for Philadelphia. Collins is off the mark. And here comes Green the other way. Green gives it up. Thomas one-on-one. Collins holding his ground. Thomas, the floater.
The difference there is at least Collins, that time matched up against Thomas. A lot of quickness there for Jason Have to recover, but he's played a lot of different people this year. So if anything, he's getting used to seeing a variety.
Jump shot, Carter. And rebounded by Iguodala. Philadelphia coming off a 106-104 win at home against the Clippers yesterday afternoon. Here's D'Alembert on a turnaround.
Good job there by the big man to keep the ball high. When he caught that, he didn't bring it down, and that enabled him to get off a quick shot before the defense could react.
He had fallen out of favor early in the season with Jim O'Brien, has worked his way back in. I think management urging on the head coach.
I would have urged on too, because I didn't understand it. We saw him last year and thought he'd make great strides.
Carter swings it, shot clock at 6. Kidd with a hand in his face, nails the triple.
The patience on offense. Defense got sucked in down low and couldn't recover to get the Kidd.
And it's 12-9. Kidd with his first points of the night. Korver, quick pass. D'Alembert makes that a tougher shot than it had to be.
Really, I agree with you there. As D'Alembert a little out of control there, didn't have a good look.
Kristich, early post-up, fake on the double. Strong move, Vaughn. Open look, Kidd, same spot. Different result, it rims out.
Good penetration, though. Jacques Vaughn inside, found the open Kidd.
Here's Green with a pull-up pop for 2.
Bruce Green is a scorer. In a lot of ways, like Allen Iverson, obviously can't score that well, but he has that mentality and a bigger body than Iverson, so you can't forget about him.
He's now 2 of 2 as Kidd went down. No whistle. Vaughn looking, 10 to shoot. D'Alembert shows on the perimeter. So Kidd's going to try to take the baseline. Good feed. Kristich, the jump shot.
That's a positive when Nenad knocks down jump shots with any kind of consistency.
Nenad Kristich now with 4. And Philadelphia's lead is 3. Iguodala. They show on a double. Vaughn jars the ball loose.
Good hands.
Uncontested for the layup.
Just read the situation. Screen and roll action. He was weak side, shot the gap, and the offense never saw him coming. Vaughn all the way by himself.
Smart player, Jacques Vaughn in his 8th year. Thomas the jump shot. And rebounded by Carter. Nets can take their first lead. Kidd using the Kristich screen. Tried to force a pass inside and a loose ball foul.
Yeah, and that's a bad foul there by Collins. The defense did a nice job collapsing.
Sixers up by 1. Jason Kidd has set up Nate Kristich on 2 occasions in this first quarter.
Hey, Jimbo. Good luck on those SATs. If he goes Ivy League, we're toast.
Get control of your finances with CitiPro. From savings to paying for college. Come in for your free financial game plan today.
I consider myself smart.
In the know.
Practical. So when I wanted a new SUV,
I did my homework.
I found the perfect one.
Suzuki XL7.
tons of standard features.
I like the V6. I like the V6.
It seats 7.
Seat 7. And it comes with peace of mind.
Because it comes with America's #1 warranty.
It's family-friendly SUV.
It's big.
It's big on adventure.
Now that's smart.
That's smart.
XL7.
Buy the XL7 for just $209 a month for 48 months during our Smart Start event.
What are you doing there? Hits, home runs. They can't tackle. Can you run the game right? Listen, you might get the first down. Time out. What time? Time out. What time? Today's best of WFAN's Mike and the Mad Dog tonight after the postgame. The pure passion of college basketball is here on Yes, with top-ranked teams from the country's top-tier conferences. Simeon, wow! Tomorrow at 7:30, it's a Jersey Jamboree when Seton Hall takes on regional rival Rutgers. Right here on Yes.
Back at Continental Airlines Arena, the Nets trail by 1 to the Sixers, and part of the reason why the Nets have been playing so well offensively, it starts with Jason Kidd in the post. Different action this time, Kidd in the post for the Nets, but watch as this play goes on. They're going to get a post on the opposite side. You're going to see as Kristich gets the ball, here comes a double team. Now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sixers in the paint. Now once you get action there, you move the basketball around the perimeter because you've already got the defense in your hands, so to speak, because they have to try to recover and get out, and Kidd got the open shot just basically on ball movement out of a double team. Good situation for the Nets in sharing the basketball and finding the open shooter.
No, Nets shot 54% in that rout of Detroit on Saturday, 107-85, shooting it at 54% right now. After the timeout, Kyle Korver, 3 out of every 4 shots he takes is a three-pointer.
It's becoming more than that, but certainly you have to be wary of his capabilities from long range. Got a little quick on that one and couldn't connect.
Every Nets starter has scored. Carter puts it on the floor. Collins swings it, 6 to shoot. Here's Carter now. And draws the foul.
Smart play there to get the ball up. He might get 2 out of this.
He was not even facing the rim, but expected the whistle, and he got the call.
As a scorer, you have to have that type of mentality. Anytime Carter gets the ball, you see action. He was going to pass that, but on the way up, at last minute, he heard the whistle and just threw it up to the basket. They don't know that, but that's a shot. We've seen him take shots like that.
74% shooter, Vince Carter, has led the Nets in scoring 16 of the 22 games that he has suited up. Nets are 11-11 in those contests.
Let's go full court pressure here now. Maybe a little token pressure as Willie Green trying to beat the defense.
Nets have their first lead. Good find. Korver, Dellenberg. And a foul called on the floor. If they got Collins, it's number 2, and it is.
Well, Sixers, nice job of attacking against pressure, and that's the key. Once you get the ball over midcourt, you got to look down the floor to try to get yourself in a 3-on-2, 2-on-1 situation. They did that, and Collins picked up a foul reaching.
So second personal on Collins, and Jabari Smith coming off his 14-point performance, 7 of 7 from the field against Detroit, checks in.
You think you can expect that again?
Yeah, that's what I anticipate. Dellenberg turnaround. Samuel Dellenberg comes in averaging just under 7 points per game. Known for that large wingspan. But I agree. I've seen improvement in his offensive skills. We don't see him every day.
Yeah, I think he made great strides last season. It was evident he's becoming more consistent. Obviously, his confidence up, but he should have been playing. For whatever reason, he wasn't, but he is now, and I think he's helping his team tremendously.
And turnover Nets as Carter was trying to get it to Kidd. Nets trail by 1. We come up on 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. No Allen Iverson tonight for Philadelphia, out with the flu.
Korver wasn't feeling well the other night either. Maybe passing it along.
Thomas and Smith called on the foul. He went to smack the ball away and got caught.
Jabari got caught standing up defensively is what happened there, because against a good post player like Kenny Thomas, if you stand up, particularly against a drop step move like Thomas showed him there, you're going to be out of position, you're going to foul, which he did. Kenny Thomas averaging just under 11 points per game, averaged a double-double last season. Signed to that big contract, 7 years, $50 million, and we will see John Salmons check in for the first time. Thomas is a guy who, as you mentioned, averaging a double-double. He plays bigger than he is. You almost look at him, you would say he'd be an undersized power forward, but he has skills to go outside, and excellent rebounder, physical player, and great positioning player. And he's got 6 points. 18-15 Philadelphia. Here's Kidd being guarded by Salmons. Good cut. Kristich, though, had the hole clogged up by Thomas. Ball movement. Carter, 10 to shoot. Kristich can't put it in. He missed the chipping. Kind of undecided what he wanted to do with that. I think he wanted to get to the backboard, and he saw he was too far underneath and caught back iron. Lawrence Frank wanted a push call. Scott Wall said, I didn't see anything. Dellenbear, that's a little bit out of his range. Yeah, I think Sam's starting to feel he's trying to make up for Allen Iverson all in 1 quarter. Carter one-on-one with Iguodala. Smith, extra feed. Vaughn on the skip pass. Carter, the penetration, blocking foul. And Vince Carter will shoot 2. Thomas went down. Iguodala was in the area. And they're going to give it to Kenny Thomas. That's number 2 on him, and that's a big second personal because they need all the offense they can get tonight. You're going to watch. Kenny Thomas was there, but he didn't move over enough in time. Vince Carter able to hit on the first, and we'll see Corliss Williamson check in. Big Nasty was a thorn in the Nets side last season as a member of the Pistons. Won a title last year with Detroit. Won an NCAA title with Arkansas. Well, even though Kenny Thomas has 2, they come in with a player that is maybe not as versatile as Kenny Thomas, but certainly an excellent post-up player and physical player as well. He likes contact. Corliss Williamson. Carter now with 6 points. Iguodala for Williamson, and the jumper is good. Well, maybe I should swallow my words as Corliss steps outside, elbow jump shot, and look good at doing it. I think you should. I think you should swallow your words. Just swallow them. 20-17. Have some water to wash them down, please. Talk with your mouth full. Carter gets it back on the perimeter. A 3. Knocks it down. Didn't even look like he was set either. Wasn't really square, but the way things have been going for Vince Carter, not a surprise. And we're tied at 20. Look at this. Korver, the jack. And Kristich, is he called? Over the back. Yes. Sixers against some pressure. A 3 in transition. But Vince Carter, he connected on his from straight away. Tied up here at Continental.
His mom was trying to talk him into renting the more traditional look. He, of course, was leaning the other way. After all, it was his prom, and it was Melinda. So instead of a bow tie, it was a button cover, and a vest instead of a cummerbund. As for Mom, we can only say this. It's not what he's wearing that you should be worried about.
Tuxedo rentals for as little as $50.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
The next generation of Ford is revved up and ready to roll for the new year. Save big on the best-selling SUV on the planet, Ford Explorer. During the next generation event, a well-equipped Ford Explorer XLT 4x4 can be yours for just $299 a month. That's just $299 a month, including independent rear suspension for a smooth ride on road and off. The Next Generation event is going on now, and it's only at your Tri-State Quality Ford store. Ford, built for the road ahead.
The Nets Pick 6 ticket plan. See Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, and the Nets as they battle some of the NBA's best at the Continental Airlines Arena. You pick the 6 games you want to see, and you'll get them at a discount. Plus, you'll get first priority to order discounted playoff tickets before the general public. See the Nets take on the Pistons, Cavs, Lakers, Heat, or Knicks. You decide. It's the Pick 6 plan. Call 1-800-7NJ-NETS or visit njnets.com.
Coming up tomorrow, 7:30, Big East basketball is here on Yes. It's a statewide showdown. Seton Hall meets Rutgers. Catch Big East college basketball live tomorrow at 7:30, right here on Yes. Vince Carter has scored the last 7 for the Nets. And the Nets and Sixers all tied up at 20 with 2:16 to go. First quarter here at Continental Airlines Arena. Nets have won 5 of their last 6 games, 8 of 11. They played well here at home of late, having won 10 of their last 13 at home. This used to be home for Samuel Dellenbear when he was a Seton Hall Pirate. Left school early and now is in his 4th year in the NBA.
Both teams shooting it well at over 50%.
Philadelphia ball looking to break the tie. Shot clock is down to 10. Korver rims out on a 3, and Dellenbear cleans it up.
Great length there by Sam Dellenbear on the offensive rebound and putback. And you don't want to leave Kyle Korver open. He's missed a couple of threes, though, in the early going.
And Korver 0 for 3 overall. Here's Carter. Aaron McKee is checked in, and a foul call.
The argument there is Aaron knew he put his hands on Vince Carter at the top. No picking up his first.
Reset the lineups for you. Nets have Kidd, Vaughn, Billy Thomas is checked in, Smith and Carter. Nets going small here. Philadelphia with Dellenbear, Salmons, Korver, Williamson, and McKee. Out of the post to Thomas.
Mismatch here. Thomas has some quickness.
Carter fires and connects for 3. Same exact spark for Vince Carter. 10 straight points scored by Carter. 23-22. Williamson. And rebounded by Kidd as Thomas got spilled out. Kidd whips it ahead. Carter. Pull-up jump. Rebounded by Jabari.
Jabari in the right place. The ball dropped right into his lap.
Out in the high post. Smith the back end, under a minute to go in the first. Carter. And rebounded by Korver off the Jabari Smith miss.
There goes the perfect scenario for Jabari off of the last ball game against Detroit.
Williamson trying to dump it off. He does, and Dellenbear rims out. Tipped up and in by Corliss Williamson.
That was a strange sequence. Dellenbear's heart was broken there. Why that one didn't go down, he doesn't know, but Williamson, a tough little tip there from about 3 feet away.
And the points in the paint category, 16-4 Philly. 2-second difference, shot clock to game clock, winding down in the first quarter. Carter straight away, he buries it.
And if you retreat, you're in trouble. And you can see Salmons trying to contain Vince, backing up, and the pull-up by Carter goes.
3 seconds left in the quarter. McKee, the bounce. Dellenbear able to bank it in just before time runs out. Thomas, midcourt heave. Doesn't go down.
Gave it a shot, though, didn't he?
Good luck for Thomas, and strong quarter by Vince Carter. 14 points overall, the last 12 for his team. After one, Sixers with a 26-25 lead on the Nets.
This Valentine's Day, Try a new raspberry mocha latte from Dunkin' Donuts. One taste of its perfectly brewed espresso and whipped cream, and you will be smitten too. Dunkin' Donuts. Bring yourself back.
A shift has been made. And the full-size truck party finally got interesting. A shift has been made. And the mid-size truck feels a whole lot bigger. A shift has been made. And when you think tough, powerful, innovative trucks, think Nissan.
A student of history, Willie Randolph has always acknowledged that his numerous accomplishments were made while standing on the shoulders of giants and Dodgers and the many other black athletes who struggled for integration. Growing up in Brooklyn, Willie always knew that he wanted to be a New York ball player, and with an uncanny sense of purpose, he made it happen in 1976 when he became the Yankees' second baseman. With the Yanks, he won 5 pennants, 2 World Series, and was named an All-Star 6 times. In 1986, he became the first African-American captain of the New York Yankees. After 18 years of playing, he retired with a .276 batting average, 271 stolen bases, and 1,243 walks in 2,202 games. Upon retirement in '92, he joined the Yankee organization and coaching staff, helping to bring 6 more pennants and 4 World Championships to New York. Willie Randolph, Black History. Celebrating Black History, I'm Tiki Barber.
Iron Eagle, Kelly Tripucka back with you here on Yes. Start of the second quarter. Vince Carter, high man, 14 points. Samuel Dellenbear has put up 10. Also has grabbed 4 rebounds along with Vince. And Jason Kidd, 5 assists. Kenny Thomas with 3. No Allen Iverson for Philadelphia, and Dellenbear having a terrific showing so far for the 76ers.
And they're making a concerted effort to get the ball inside. 18-4 as far as points in the paint. And for the Nets, it's been Vince Carter. Not getting much help, but right now they haven't needed it as he has carried the load. 14 for Vince.
Nets are down by 1 as we start play, second quarter. Carter being defended by McKee, good reputation as a defensive player. And Carter too strong on the jumper.
Jabari nearly picked up a foul there. Would have been a senseless one. They let him play on, though.
Carter now 4 of 8. Offensive foul. It's going the other way. And it looked like Corliss Williams had camped out and tried to set up underneath his first.
He's a physical player, and he'll pick up some of those types of foul, even though you can see Jim O'Brien not happy with the call. He likes contact, but that time a little too much of it.
Travis Best checks in. And Jacques Vaughn sits. Smith in a crowd. Kidd is open, a 3.
Not keeping the offense spread, and that makes it tough for the defense. Once you get a show like Dellenbear had out there, you're scrambling defensively, and they can't recover.
Kidd hitting threes at a 55% clip over his last 8 games. Korver out of bounds. Who touched it last? Thomas. And Philadelphia will retain. There's Philadelphia native Jim O'Brien out of Roman Catholic High School. And St. Joseph's was the head coach at Dayton, and then getting an opportunity in the pro ranks behind Rick Pitino, then replacing him for 4 years in Boston. Foul called. Carter defending Williamson, giving up the bulk underneath.
Well, Williamson didn't like the last call against them. They went right back to it, maybe planted a seed with the referee talking to him after the last foul, and this time he gets the call against Carter.
28-26.
Well, they missed Williamson wide open underneath, but now he throws it.
And Jabari Smith able to get a piece of it to trigger a break opportunity. Kidd, oh, he's on fire from 3-point range.
Another pull up by Kidd in transition. It's been good to him.
9 points for Kidd, 3 threes. McKee kick out. Here's Salmons. Korver inside out. No good for 3.
Right now, the difference in the ball game is those threes by the Nets.
Catch and shoot. Carter buries the triple.
Make it another one.
The Nets are 6 of 10 from 3-point territory. 3 for Carter, 3 for Kidd. And the Nets very quickly have opened up an 8-point lead. Timeout, Philly.
Enter the Basketball Hall of Fame and walk into basketball history. Visit the birthplace of basketball and explore the greatest teams, players, and coaches through hundreds of state-of-the-art exhibits. Show your skills on center court and even meet your favorite legends at live events. Bring the family to Springfield, Massachusetts and experience everything about the world's greatest sport. The Basketball Hall of Fame. It's where the game never ends.
There's a new way to search. Introducing the new, more precise, more powerful MSN Search.
A running giant. A scoring giant. A giant on Yes. Congratulations, Tiki Barber, on a giant season and your Pro Bowl selection from your friends at the Yes Network.
What are you doing there? Hits, home runs. They can't tackle. Can you run the game right? Listen, you might get the first down. Time out. What time? Time out. What time?
Today's best of WFAN's Mike and the Mad Dog tonight after the postgame.
A 3-point barrage by the Nets in this first half.
Oh, clearly the difference in the ballgame. Long-range shooting by the Nets, in particular Vince Carter, but others have chipped in as well. Jason Kidd, long-range distance, dialed in, and so are the Nets as a team 6 of 10, Bird, and right now that has put them up 8.
34-26. Philadelphia 0 for 4 from long range. Kyle Korver is 0 for 4 overall.
No, both teams with 12 field goals, but we mentioned 6 of those 12 long distance variety by the Nets.
Right, Philadelphia shooting it at 52%, but down 8 to the Nets.
A little zone action here by the Nets.
Mark Jackson is checked in for the first time for Philly. Salmons lets it fly, and it's rebounded by Kidd. Chance to bring the lead to double figures early stages, second quarter. Carter, open look, off the rim. And it leaks out to McKee.
It's one of those feeling it shots.
Jackson feeling it.
He stepped right into the ball game quickly and got himself involved. An elbow jump shot. Mark Jackson has the ability to shoot that shot consistently.
And hurt the Nets the first time these two teams met back on November the 10th, an overtime win for Philadelphia. Carter, the slam.
Slice him and dice him. He bit them all on that trick to the basket.
(36-28). Vince Carter with 19. Jackson jump hook.
That's a tough shot there. And Jackson and Smith get tangled up trying to get up the floor.
Mark Jackson had 19 points. The first meeting between these two teams. Iverson led the way with 26 for Philadelphia on that night. Drive to the rim. Smith misses on the big finish, but he is going to the free throw line.
Vince Carter last time down. Little crossover move and then splits a couple of Sixers. And a little showmanship at the end of it. Good look from up above. They did not collapse, and you must collapse against Carter.
Kelly, think about it. His body was actually carrying underneath the backboard, and he still had the angle to dunk it. Look at the angle. Look at the arm angle here.
He's light on his feet, that's for sure. And Vince, it's like a drive-by.
It's almost an over-the-shoulder slam. It was subtle, but you watch it again and again. That's scary.
Well, he is a former dunk champion, so those types are not impossible for him.
Best the steal and the foul called. Not a breakaway because McKee had gotten back on defense for the angle. So a side out, and it turns out to be a good foul for Philadelphia on Jackson. Collins in. Jabari Smith will sit. 37-30, Nets with the lead, shooting it at 54% from the field. Smith exits with 1 point. Thomas thought about it. Jackson getting locked up with Collins on the inside. Carter was looking for him. High screen. Carter, no look. Best had it blocked by Jackson. Best fighting through, deflected. Kidd throws it up and in. Jason Kidd off balance.
Great awareness. He didn't think there was much time on the clock and knew he had to get something up to the basket.
Kidd has 8 in the quarter, 11 overall to go along with 6 assists. Thomas stepping through and Green able to retrieve it. It's up by 9. That's their largest cushion. Jackson.
Listen, McKee open in the corner. They're playing 5-on-4. Now they find him.
And Williamson, who's very capable of getting those inside jump points.
He's very wide and very creative down low, and he finds a way to get that shot off.
Got a nice touch for a man his size. 39-32. Thomas lets it fly and buries the 3. Billy Thomas on target from long range, and everybody getting involved for Lawrence Frank's team.
Shooting once again. I mean, those other guys, we talk about Vince all the time, but when other guys are knocking down jump shot, it's tough to stop them.
Jackson turns, rebounds his own miss. Best gets a piece of it, squirts to the outside. Kidd is looking to break. Carter, pull up 3. And McKee allows it to go out of bounds.
People over there in the front row were relieved that no one went after that loose ball. This was the play a moment ago. In traffic, Kidd just in the right spot. You see with the clock at 3, didn't have time to react, but knew that clock was down and got something off of 1 foot.
Nets are 7 of 13 from 3-point range. Williamson, couple of moves, and knocked up in the air. Kidd's got the rebound, his 3rd. Kidd in transition. Bullet feed. Thomas, same spot. Short. Kidd battling for the loose ball. Who touched it last? The Nets. And a timeout. Or is it? Kristich getting ready to come in. Mercer has checked in for the Nets. And Vince Carter gets his first breather. We are yet to see Jason Kidd take a seat. Carter exits 19 points in 18 minutes. Kidd's got 11 points and 6 assists. 42-32. Green handles it. No Allen Iverson tonight. Out with the flu for Philadelphia. Williamson turns and connects.
Yeah, quick. He establishes great position because of his size down low. And no hesitation. Quick move with the right hand on the jump hook.
Well, if you could only score at this game in the paint, Philadelphia would be dominating. It's 24-6.
Well, 2 are beating 5 right now. It's Kidd and Carter combining.
Nets are shooting it well, though. Kidd off the mark. Iguodala the board. Net by Best. Jackson strokes it.
Maybe a step beyond his range, though. He thought confidently enough to almost make that one.
Kidd off the ball. Mercer handled it. Collins the wing jump shot. Just like that. And Jason Collins with his 2nd field goal. 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 personal fouls. 44-34. Inside, Iguodala can't finish, and a jump ball. Or is it?
You're going to get a foul here, Bird.
Best was fighting for the loose ball. And they are going to get Travis Best on the personal. Timeout, 5:20 to play. First half.
We bought a suit by a famous American designer at a department store for $329.99 on sale. At K&G, they're less than half that. K&G, for men, for women, for less.
At Next to Nothing Rent-A-Car, our slogan is, if you want a car for next to nothing, get in line. Do we offer you services that get you to your vacation faster? No. We let you use that time for more important things, like catching up on your reading. After all, who do you think we are, Hertz? Here you go.
Hertz offers both #1 Club and Never Lost, so you can reserve faster and get to your vacation faster. It's your trip. Rent wisely.
Ford, the most powerful line of the best-selling vehicles on the planet. Now starting at just $199 a month for a Ford Explorer Sport Track. A well-equipped 4x4 XLT edition for an incredibly low $199 for a limited time.
The pure passion of college basketball is here on Yes, with top-ranked teams from the country's top-tier conferences. Simeon, wow! Tomorrow at 7:30, it's a Jersey jamboree when Seton Hall takes on regional rival Rutgers. Right here on Yes.
Hey, Yankees fans, starting Monday, March the 7th, believe it or not, Yankees baseball is back right here on Yes. Season coverage kicks off. The Bombers take on the Cleveland Indians in Tampa. Don't miss your first chance to see the new Power and Pinstripes. Yankees baseball returns Monday, March the 7th, only on Yes. Is that Jeter? Who is that?
Better get ready. A week. Pitchers and catchers.
You're excited.
It's that time.
Are you? You're a big baseball guy.
Well, big Yankee guy, I can tell you that.
No.
A little bit unusual. Not necessarily a baseball guy, but I'm a Yankee guy.
I understand the distinction. Jackson able to hit on the free throw. And he has a second one coming. Been effective since he's been in there. 5 minutes for Jackson. And he has 6 points.
It's going to be tough for Philadelphia to change their style when you lose an Allen Iverson, league's leading scorer, 29 a game. But they played very well. The Nets' outside shooting has just been the difference in the ballgame. They got to be a little flustered.
Here's Kidd. Flip over to Mercer. The drive and the denial.
There's Iguodala on the block and takeaway.
And it's Iguodala handling the ball. Early offense. Jackson didn't catch it cleanly initially, but he recovers.
Good hands there. Good reaction, as you mentioned, by Jackson inside.
In that Detroit game on Saturday, Nets had 12 healthy players for the first time since December the 7th. Mercer added to the roster and misses on that jump shot. Vince Carter getting ready to check back in.
I don't know what to do with 12 guys.
It is a novelty as Mercer steps in front. A steal. Numbers developing. Best the penetration. Kick out. Kidd. Open look. Short. And rebounded by Kristich. A new shot clock.
Good job by Kristich to come in, not give up on the play. He hustled down court and was in position to get a rebound.
Philadelphia winning the rebounding battle so far, 17-14. Quick pass. Kristich. Ball movement. Kidd again. It was online, but too strong for three-point.
But again, you mentioned the ball movement. It's pretty to watch, and if you play unselfishly, you're going to get good looks.
Well, they are riding Jackson right now.
And he's providing the scoring right now as well.
10 points in 6 minutes.
Ooh, talk about instant offense.
The Temple product, Mark Jackson. Been a journeyman in this league right now. He is leading the Sixers on a journey back into the game in the second quarter.
Cleotis, what are you doing? I got your Pepsi to go with the sandwich I made you.
Sandwiches need Pepsi. It's the cola.
Cleotis!
I'm no car expert.
But I do know what I want. You know what I want?
More bang. More bang for my buck. From a car and
a car company.
That's why I got a Forenza. By Suzuki. Protected by America's #1 warranty.
Numero uno.
It's got more room and more features
than Civic.
Forenza. It gives so much.
And it asks so little. Who says you can't have it all?
Forenza!
Buy the Forenza sedan for just $129 a month for 48 months during our Smart Start event.
Don't miss the Nets at home all this week. They take on the Lakers Wednesday the 9th, 7:30. Spurs on Friday the 11th. All kids will receive a basketball hoop set courtesy of UPS. And the Nuggets Sunday the 13th at 6 o'clock. And the Kings Wednesday the 16th. It'll be followed by a free postgame concert. Gavin DeGraw. That's just a little additional information I'm providing Tickets start $15. Squeeze your seats. NJNets.com or call 1-800-4NBA-TIX.
Gavin's happy that you mentioned it.
He's a good singer. Vince Carter nails the three. So Carter checks back in and promptly gets the Nets back on the board as Kidd sits.
And that's got to be deflating. You look at Coach Jim O'Brien for Philadelphia as Carter just gets right back into the groove.
And it's going the other way. Iguodala trying to take the baseline, and he turned it over. Right now, the offense for Philadelphia is coming from Mark Jackson. He scored 10 of the 76ers' 14 second quarter points. Carter has 22, a double team. Iguodala can be a pest. Collins to Best. Little body contact from Thomas, no call. Into the hands of Carter, 5 to shoot. Carter. Cross court, Best gets it off. And in, he gets the roll.
Patience again. Travis Best making something happen at the end of the shot clock.
And it really has been a while for Best seeing legitimate first half minutes.
We talked about it with both he and Jacques Vaughn. They've had similar roles this year as Green converts on the drive to the basket. And you just have to be ready. They're veteran type of guys, and they know that nothing's a sure thing. But as you can tell, any young player sitting over there, you have to be ready at all times. You never know when your number is going to be called.
And a foul call against the Nets.
Lawrence is out on the floor, and number 3 on Jason Collins, who picks it up, much to the dismay of Coach Lawrence Frank, who is 3-4 steps out on the floor. And calmly told to move back. You get a look at Collins trying to set a screen, and there was contact. Carter's the one that actually went down, but Collins will pick up the foul.
He exits with 4 points, 2 rebounds. Eldon Campbell into the game for the Nets. Thomas thought about it, but drive has the speed, and a foul called. It was Kristich from behind.
He's made a habit of that little show and go, Kenny Thomas. You have to respect his outside shooting, but a good quick move and a little late in coming over on the help D.
Thomas a 79% shooter at the line. 6 points in this first half, 3 assists. And misses on the first toss.
Well, where the Sixers miss Allen Iverson probably the most, obviously his scoring, but just 4 of 5 that'll get their 6th attempt here coming up by Thomas. Iverson averages 10+ opportunities per game. That's unheard of numbers. 10 trips plus per game on average for Allen Iverson going to the free throw line.
And free throws not a major factor so far. Philadelphia 5 of 6. Nets are 5 of 7. Nets lead is 6 as we approach 2 minutes to go. First half. Kristich looking for it against Thomas. Instead, it's Best. Mercer swings it. Carter, a 3. And rebounded by Green.
Again, a pretty good look as the defense got sucked in to the basketball, and Carter open from outside, couldn't get it to go.
How about 19 3-point attempts, though, for the Nets? Thomas drops it. Jackson, and a travel. Jackson got a little cute on the inside, not going up with it initially, sensing the pressure, and really, it cost him.
He didn't need to. Didn't seem like, but not much of a reaction from Jackson. But it'll take 2 away from Philadelphia that probably should have had.
In the quarter, Philadelphia 54%. Nets 45% from the field. 9th Sixer turnover. Down to a minute 35 to play. First half. Carter with Iguodala. Carter, the spin, goes around him as if he's not there.
Yeah, he made that look easy. I mean, that was just all Vince Carter right there.
24 for Vince Carter.
What a half.
Nets up by 8.
What a stretch.
8 of 15 for Carter. Wrap around Thomas. A foul. It's Kristich, and it's number 3.
And you watch Vince Carter, one dribble, spin, and Iguodala is known as a defensive player, but granted, he didn't get any help there, but at the same time, you've got to be able to make it more difficult one-on-one for Vince Carter the way he's playing right now, and it wasn't.
Now the focus is the foul trouble on the Nets. Kristich 3, Collins 3. And free throws coming.
Well, it didn't hurt him Saturday afternoon. If you remember, in that third quarter, both Kristich and Collins picked up 4 early in the third, and the Nets went a little small, and it seemed to spark them, and also gave that man, Jabari Smith, an opportunity, and he came through big time with a 7-for-7 performance in 14.
No, they're not going small here. They're going big, or staying big, with Smith, Campbell up front. Carter, Mercer, and Best round out the 5 on the floor.
Let's remember, too, Philadelphia, I know they're one of the smallest. They may be the smallest team, average size-wise, in the league. They're not a big team to begin with. So when you say they're going big, I think everyone's big against the Sixers.
Here's Carter handling the ball, telling Mercer to get involved. Carter, a 3. With a hand in his face, Vince Carter is locked and loaded.
Amazing.
27 first-half points for Vince Carter.
I can tell you what the talk in the Sixer locker room is going to be about.
Korver short on a 3.
It'll have something to do with the guy that's scoring all the points out there in white uniform.
You may want to check number 15. And Carter loses the ball.
He just lost it on his dribble.
They've got numbers, and Green accelerates for 2.
Nothing Travis Best could really do. Sometimes you got to gamble and take a chance when you're down 3-on-1. And the Sixers converted.
And a 20-second timeout taken. Vince Carter now 8 points shy of 10,000 for his NBA career. Stay tuned. Heineken at the half is coming up. Bob Lorenz. He is in the house. The kid said.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah.
I got you, Rob.
Tip happening. Holla. Bob Lorenz.
They hit you, too.
We'll have leading scores, first half highlights, including the Pacers and Wizards coming up. Heineken at the half. 54-47. What Vince Carter highlight will the truck pick right now? That one. Brian Scalabrine is delirious.
How about the look on Kristich's face? That's how I picked up. I don't see a guy do that.
Go back. Can we see that replay again? What was the Scalabrine reaction?
You had Scalabrine. I had Kristich.
They were puzzled. There was.
You had ecstasy and you had Kristich.
Watch. All right.
Take a. Kristich doesn't look like it feels well. and Brian's laughing.
Kristich is queasy and Brian is delirious. 12 seconds left in the half.
He's playing a game I do not recognize. His name is
Carter fouled, and the Sixers had one to give. Vince Carter.
Good foul there by Philadelphia to recognize the situation.
Side out, 7 seconds left.
Not sure that's going to matter a whole lot because still a lot of time. And you would assume this will run through Vince Carter once again. Aaron McKie, the one assigned to try to protect.
5 seconds. Carter a 3. Air ball.
A little bit of a force. He had more time. Should have been patient.
Green from half court. Ooh, almost went down for Willie Green.
Right the glass.
The Nets hit the break behind 27 points from Vince Carter with a 7-point lead on the Sixers. Nets looking for their 5th consecutive win at home. 54-47 Nets. Bob Lorenz has Heineken at the half. When we come back here on Yes. On the playoffs, we have the potential to be a very dangerous playoff team because we can score. That is something that we have solved. We may give up 100, but we still feel confident we can win the game. And it has been tangible, the shift in mentality. Yeah, the Nets went through the first 6 weeks to 2 months unable to get any kind of flow going offensively. And in the Atlantic Division, here they are as we approach the All-Star break, very much in the hunt. And a victory here would bring them closer to both the Celtics and the 76ers. And as the Nets have gotten hot, keep in mind Boston and Philly have played better basketball.
Well. And I said we've seen it here from Philadelphia without Allen Iverson, but certainly you've got to do your fair share. You really can't worry about what everybody else does. You've got to try to take care of yourself, try to get this to last. I mean, can they keep scoring like this? I don't know. I mean, they've been playing that well, and that man has been playing off the charts. So they know they've got to be able to score points to have an opportunity to win, and lately they've been getting it done.
Nets lead by 7, and we're ready for second half action at Continental Airlines Arena. Nets will take on the Los Angeles Lakers on Wednesday night. Action we'll have for you right here on ES. Homestand continues on Friday.
Lakers having a big struggle in Atlanta tonight.
Now without Kobe Bryant, it's a different team.
Thus far, yeah. No, there's no question. They could use Kobe, but probably won't see him until after the All-Star break.
Here's Carter, one-on-one with Iguodala. Left hand, Vince Carter is at a different level.
That's a shot I'm not sure we've seen. That was like a jump hook, sky hook variety, a line drive that goes for Vince.
Korver, you knew it was coming, and there he is.
Go without one.
His first three-pointer of the night, and his first points overall. So a 6-point game. Carter now with 29. Here's Kidd using the Collins screen. And Collins will drive. Little bump from Thomas. Count it. And one.
Haven't seen that too often. Collins on a dribble drive.
Korver will pick up the personal, his first.
Pick and pop, and then Collins decides to put it on the floor, and wasn't of the Vince Carter variety as far as gracefulness, but effective nonetheless.
And Collins can add a free throw here. Gets the roll.
Fortunate there. That ball was going right. Somehow took a left turn and able to use pretty much the whole rim to get it to go.
7 points for Collins and a 7-point Nets lead. A lot of movement on offense from Green as Vaughn sticks with him. 9 to shoot. Now Collins comes out to show, backs off. Green will stroke it and connects.
Talked about the effectiveness of Jacques Vaughn on Saturday afternoon against Rip Hamilton, and even his own teammates called Jacques a pest defensively. He gets after it, but Green, tough offense that time.
They give Collins the jumper. And a little bit short, tracked down by Korver. Philadelphia shooting it at 56% here tonight. Thomas, long rebound, Collins. Sixers able to get back defensively, so the Nets don't force anything. Around the horn for Kidd. Collins, the open man, and nails the jump shot.
Now what they're doing, every time there's a screen and roll situation, in this case screen and pop, the big man for Philadelphia, whether it's Thomas or Dallenberg, are showing, and that's leaving Collins open for that look.
9 points now for Collins. Korver feeds the post. Dallenberg, Kristich forced him out and knocked out of bounds off of Thomas.
It was a forced shot there by Dallenberg, out of control, and didn't even get the rim, and they would have had little time to get one up anyhow as it went off of Thomas out of bounds, and that's what happened.
And Samuel Dallenberg now 5 of 9 from the field. 10 points, 4 rebounds. Here's Kidd for Vaughn. Looked like a jump shot initially, pass to Kristich.
Jump ball.
It is a tie-up, and Kristich will jump it up.
Long reach of Sam Dallenberg there as he snuffs the shot of Kristich here. And he brought it down, never let go, and that's the reason for the jump ball situation. Screen and pop. Talked about that. Dallenberg's got to anticipate that defensively, and Collins has done a good job in being aggressive offensively on the jump shot.
Nets control the jump. Kristich has been quiet here, and no call. Kristich limited to 4 points, 1 rebound. Iguodala, the baseline. Left-hand delivery doesn't go. He took it underneath and tried the banker.
The attempt was pretty, the result was not.
Kidd, bounce. Collins couldn't catch it. A low pass by Jason Kidd.
Some will say that tough pass for a big man to catch, but you know, if you're Collins, you tell Jason Kidd, I should have had it.
Nets 11-9 here at home this season. Philadelphia continues its hot shooting in this third quarter, picking up from their first half performance. Here's Korver, another three.
Breakdown there defensively as they left Korver open.
Seems to like this side more.
Based on statistics, I think you got something there. I think you're right.
61-57.
Good defense there.
And Korver tips it ahead. Iguodala's got it. Driving in. Korver is open. And he's hot. Another three.
Yeah. Good execution by Philadelphia that time. They picked up the defense, and Korver getting down the floor as Iguodala found him, looking for someone to throw to. Timeout, Lawrence Frank and the Nets.
Philadelphia on a run, getting to within one with 7:51 to play, third quarter. Kyle Korver lighting it up for the Sixers. Plan. See the Nets take on some of the hottest teams in the NBA. Experience all the benefits that come with being a Nets mini plan holder. Discounted tickets for the regular season and the NBA playoffs. Get your Pick 6 plan today. 1-800-7-NJ-NETS or visit njnets.com for more details. 76ers getting hot shooting from Kyle Korver. Hitting the Sixers' first three-pointers of the night. Carter, a jumper. No. And Sixers can regain the lead.
That was Iguodala, I think, falling down there, trying to get over a screen to defend Carter.
Largest lead of the night for the Nets has been 10. Sixers had a 6-point lead in the first quarter. Thomas, one-on-one with Collins, will put it on the floor. Korver, spotting up. No. And Carter with the board.
He had the look of a guy that thought he made that one.
That time it was Jason Kidd guarding Korver. Change an assignment. Kidd to Vaughn, the jump shot. Rims in. Up in the air and through.
Tell him, Vaughn, that's a shooter's touch.
He'll take it. Second field goal of the night for Jacques Vaughn. And a three-point Nets lead. Iguodala, not really a three-point shooter. He'll take some. Kenny Thomas inside the arc, knocks it down.
He likes that area right around the foul line from elbow to elbow, maybe out 2-3 steps.
And Thomas now with 13 points, 4 assists. Kidd takes the opening, and it's goaltending on D'Alembert. Jason Kidd able to find the lane and get the bucket.
Well, Green was looking for help. His kid made a nice move. Sam touched it on its way down.
Double-double for Kidd, 13 points, 10 assists. Samuel D'Alembert leads the NBA in goaltending, and Kenny Thomas
shuffled his foot. His pivot foot, his right foot, he had established, and then it kind of slid backwards.
So the traveling violation on Thomas. Kidd looking to turn the corner again, and Green is called for the foul. That is the third team foul, second personal on Willie Green. No Allen Iverson tonight, out with the flu. Actually made the trip and then was asked to return, so he wouldn't spread it around, I'm sure.
Keep it to yourself, right?
Kristich, jump shot, no. Korver the board. 65-62. Green challenging Kristich, follows his shot, and he's fouled.
That'll probably be a two-shot foul as a controlled tip situation, yes.
And that is going to be the fourth foul.
Willie Green, the step there, almost crossed up Kristich. Leaned in, looking for contact, but nice job of staying with it as he had possession on that second opportunity.
So Collins will be forced to the bench, and Jabari Smith will check in. Green's free throw off the mark.
That was right all the way, as camera angle could tell you.
Collins exits, 9 points, 4 rebounds. Green, a 77% shooter, and 1 out of 2. It's a 2-point game. We are past the midway point here in the third quarter. Kidd one-on-one with Green. 13 to shoot. Vaughn looking to set things up. It's Carter. Iguodala, tight defense, 7 to shoot. Carter Double team comes, knocked away. D'Alembert the help.
Nowhere to go for Vince.
Green, fouled by Vaughn. Be number 2 on Jacques Vaughn, making his first second team foul. And free throws now for Willie Green once again. He's got 11 points, came in averaging 8 points per game. Was the starter earlier in the season until Jim O'Brien made a change, electing to give Kyle Korver a shot in that starting lineup. And he misses on the first. They actually have Iguodala essentially as the 2 guard, even though the roles are interchangeable between Korver and Iguodala, depending upon the matchups.
Green trying to fit a role as a spark off the bench. Got a pretty good mentality for that, certainly, and they needed, I think, Korver's consistency now as far as a legitimate threat from outside all the time rather than coming off the bench.
And I clearly like saying the name Iguodala because I say it even when he's not really
say it when you get home too, don't you?
Andre.
Honey, I'm going to have to Iguodala.
Yeah, you can really replace it for any other word. Carter is off the mark from three-point territory. 65-64. Oh, and Green going to the hole.
He's got a nose for going to the hole, that's for sure. Willie Green, a physical specimen, and aggressive play that time again.
Nets are just 4 of 12 from the field in this third quarter. Sixers continue to take advantage in the paint. Carter, he caught the pass from Smith, but not completely.
Well, may have been better off bringing that down, Ian, rather than going up with it.
And Green is fouled, going to the goal. So that means more free throws for Willie Green, who is beginning to step forward for Jim O'Brien.
It's his stretch right now, no question about it. Willie Green going to the basket and getting to the line as the Sixers defend. Here, Carter tries to take that one. You see it looked like Iguodala actually got a piece of that ball. And then Green down the other end to the hole and now to the line.
But not making good on his free throws. Green is now 2 of 5. And now the free throws beginning to accumulate for Philadelphia. Those numbers were just about even through the first half. Once again, 1 out of 2 for Green.
3 straight times for Willie Green to the line, and 3 straight times he makes 1 out of 2.
13-4 Sixer run over the last 4+ minutes. Kidd, the drive, hooks a pass. Kristich, he's had trouble tonight. D'Alembert with a block, and the Nets retain.
Sam has great timing. We saw a lot of that last year when we talked about his development. And that's what shot blockers have. Good timing, doesn't bite on the fake, and then he actually beats you to the point of your shot. And Kristich having some trouble with him, as you said.
He is 2 of 7 from the field. Carter, the drive, left hand, off the back of the iron. Out of bounds, Nets will hold on to it.
Unfortunate there. The defense collapsed. Vince looking for some contact, but the Sixers had an opportunity for the rebound and just lost the handle.
Like the right shoulder was giving Vince a little bit of trouble. He'll play through it. We come up on 4 minutes to go in the third. Nets are down by 2. Carter, the spin-off of Iguodala. And taken away. Set it up for Thomas. One-on-one with Smith. Thomas ducks in for the bucket.
He knows how to play down low. We talked about his ability down in the post. Excellent footwork. And a score on the inside is Kenny Thomas.
Well, a third quarter turnaround here for the Nets. 33% in the period. They outscored the Pistons 25-11 in the third last game. Kidd forcing one up, and there is the whistle. Jason Kidd will go to the line thanks to Willie Green. And Kidd will shoot free throws for the first time tonight. Nets only 8 attempts at the line.
Well, it's very uncharacteristic of them. You know, they know they've had their problems from the outside all season long. Even though they're shooting it at a long stretch, they sometimes fall in love with it. There's been more of a concerted effort to probably try to go away from the long-range shot and try to get something inside. As, you know, the old saying goes, you live by the 3 of the long-range shot, and you die by the long-range shot.
Kidd knocks down a pair. He's got 15 overall. And the Sixers lead is 2.
Lead is a good balance.
Thomas directing traffic. D'Alembert looks with 12 to shoot. Down to 8 on the clock. The drive And the foul called as Green took it strong.
Will they give him 2? Was that an attempt or not? I think it was. It didn't look like there was anybody there to pass to. And Joe Forte now, I think, warning Lawrence Frank because he's close to getting one. Here's Willie Green. And it's going to be 2. I don't think there was any there to pass to, even though Dellenberg came up with it. It was purely by accident.
And Green hits on the first free throw. Foul was called on Jabari Smith, his second. No Brian Scalabrine. That knee injury, unfortunately, could be something that affects him the entire 04-05 season the rest of the way.
Yeah, he talked about it with us the other night, or afternoon, I should say, and he mentioned just that, but he was willing to give it a shot when and if that is.
Against the zone, Vaughn. And one and done for the Nets. They have gone 3.5 minutes without a field goal. Hard to believe this is the same team that we saw in the first half. Thomas underneath, knocked away, and Philadelphia will retain after the timeout. 2:50 to play. Third quarter at Continental Airlines Arena. A 4-point game. Yes, the best of Mike and the Mad Dog join WF fans Mike Francesa and the Mad Dog. Christopher Russo, the best sports talk, guests, and debate from today's show. It's the best of Mike and the Mad Dog tonight after the postgame here on Yes. 71-67, Philadelphia with the lead, 2:50 to play in the third quarter. Kenny Thomas with 15 points. The play of Willie Green has been instrumental in this second half so far for Philadelphia. Nets are down to 31% shooting in the second half. Now the big question, what have they done against Vince Carter?
They've gotten a little bit more physical with him and certainly have tried to close down his lanes, and Vince has not been shooting it like he did in the first half.
Green cans a 3.
Now you ask a lot of Vince Carter and he carried you for most of the first half, but it's hard to ask him, one guy, to do it for 48 minutes.
74-67. Sixers have their largest lead at 7. Here is Carter. Kick out. Kidd was hot in the first half. Nails the triple.
Now there's part of the lanes there that the defense taking away, and Carter has to recognize that. You saw Kidd spotting up, spreading the defense, and they couldn't recover on the get out.
Kenny Thomas an open look. And Thomas with 17 points. This Nets having a tough time stopping Philadelphia.
Yeah,
every time the Sixers come down the floor, they get something out of the possession.
They played as well, I think, so far as we've seen all year.
And Kidd off the mark. That would have been a 2-pointer. Under 2 minutes to play now in the third.
Yeah, Ian, it just seems like the Sixers defense are going to try to make anybody but Vince Carter beat them. But their offense, as you said, they've been good right from the start. And everyone doing their job right now offensively for Philadelphia, and a better job defensively.
Are shooting 57% from the field.
That may be a little, well, I'm going to say a little out of his range, but Jabari Smith got that one to go down.
78-72, Smith with his first field goal of the night. See if the Nets can get a stop. Thomas inside the arc, it rims out.
A little flat there and maybe a step beyond Kenny Thomas's range.
Carter swings it. Kidd, the drive. The dish. Krista trying to catch and controlled by Korver.
Got past the handle there because Kidd had to put it on the floor.
Dellenberg caught underneath. Thomas has had the hot hand. It continues.
Look at Sam Dellenberg being the assist man there as he finds an open teammate. Everyone getting in the act without Allen Iverson.
80-72, 8-point Philadelphia cushion. Thomas for Carter. That's a 3. And Kidd back tap for Thomas.
Should hold for 1 here if they can. Only about a 3-second differential between game clock and shot clock.
Carter is 1 of 6 from the field in this third quarter. He had been held to just 2 points since halftime. Carter, drive and dish. A foul called. Sixers over the limit. And Carter will shoot a pair. Well, Green is going to pick up his 4th personal foul. And Vince Carter 4 of 4 at the line tonight. He went 10 of 22 from the field in the first half. And he misses the free throw.
Well, again, we mentioned part of that. You don't like to see halftime come because you never know when you've got the feeling that long halftime can have an effect on your game. But certainly 76ers have changed their philosophy a little bit too.
1 out of 2 for Vince. And it's a 7-point game. Final possession for Philadelphia. Nets do not have a foul to give. Kidd guarding Green. Now a switch. Green the pull-up. Rebound, control, Carter. Almost.
Well, he practiced those, didn't he?
He did. Hit one during pre-game warm-ups from half court. Actually hit 5 of them, we were told. But that one didn't go down. 76ers, their offense on the money in that third quarter. It's a 7-point game. Coming up Wednesday here on Yes, the Nets take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock. Infinity pregame. Then join Kelly and me for all the action at 7:30. Special guest Richard Jefferson will sit in during the broadcast. Nets and Lakers Wednesday on Yes with RJ. As we start the fourth quarter, Sixers outscore the Nets 33-19 in the third. Carter trying to knock it away from Iguodala, forced him into an air ball.
Iguodala complaining about getting hit on the wrist. No call as Carter may get credited for a block as well.
Sixers 63% in the quarter from the outside. Give you the lineups in a moment. Kidd flips it. Thomas a 3. Too strong. And Philadelphia controls it. It's Korver saved. Green. And a foul called. It was almost like a matador.
Swing and a miss.
Thomas, he was there, then he wasn't. And Jabari Smith looked like he took a whiff.
He thought Thomas was going to go up.
Kenny Thomas wants free throws. How would they come about with that? They won't. Side out.
Well, if he had gone up with it, he would have gotten 2. As Mark Jackson checks into the ball game for Dellenbear. Remember, Jackson 10 points in 10 minutes. Did most of that damage in that second quarter. Pretty much all of that, I guess.
Now, Nets had just 19 points in that third quarter. That snaps a streak of 13 consecutive quarters at home where they had scored 20 or more points. Now find themselves in a hole. 80-73. Just underway in the fourth. Carter knocks it away from Thomas. Smith the double team. Thomas no on the jump shot.
A good knockaway there. That was the difference in the play. Is Thomas had got himself established, and if Carter doesn't get that knockaway, it'd be trouble for the defense.
Kidd, Carter, Mercer, Smith, and Thomas for the Nets. Carter jump step, and it rims out. Those balls just not going down for him as they did in the first half.
Korver, a good job on the boards. Now with 7.
And the Nets are down to 42% overall. Bullet feed. Korver. Really not an area that he's accustomed to underneath the rim.
Now a little late in reacting.
5-on-4. Carter puts it in for 3.
No, he wasn't late. Quick trigger.
Now 2 points shy of 10,000 for his NBA career. 80-76. Philly. Jackson battling. And a foul call.
That's good position.
That is going to be number 4 on Jabari Smith.
Vince Carter, the trailer, no hesitation. Knock down another 3.
Substitution, Collins in, Smith will sit. Carter with 33.
Jabari having problems in containing a Mark Jackson. Solid post-up player, and showed it there as Collins will check back in.
And a switch for Philadelphia. Corliss Williamson in for Kenny Thomas. Couple of free throws for Jackson. 80% on the season. And the Sixers as a team now 13 of 17 from the line. Thomas on the bench with 21 points and 5 assists. No Allen Iverson tonight, out with the flu. And other Sixer players have taken on the responsibility.
Yeah, the guys we talked about, you know, the Mark Jackson and Korver, and we said don't forget about Willie Green. So all those guys we mentioned have done the job. Kenny Thomas too, don't forget about him. He's been outstanding.
Here is Carter against McKee on the cross. Oh, he had a little something extra.
Yeah, he tricked him up a little bit.
Kidd, fade away. That rebounded by Korver.
Another rebound for Korver. Make it 8 now. He's done a nice job on the boards.
Green with a pass to Korver. Now they set it up. Jackson bumping bodies. Loses the ball. Nets have a break opportunity. It's a 3-on-3. Kidd down the middle. Swings it for the Mercer J. Book it.
Those types of shots are big because you've got a break opportunity, and you'd like to get a layup when you have 3-on-2 or the numbers, but they got a jump shot from Mercer.
82-78. Williamson turning, missed it off the rim. Kidd on the move. Thomas pull up, no good.
Same thing, other side of the floor, but one they get and one they don't.
Could have cut it to 2. 9 minutes to play. We're in the fourth. Double team on McKee. Jackson open for a moment. Collins goes down. Jackson able to get it back. 9 to shoot. Green sets it up. Green wants to take it himself. Green, creative.
He's strong. He's strong, and he's playing like a starter.
22 points for Willie Green. And back to a 6-point Philadelphia lead.
You may think he's Allen Iverson.
Kidd from Mercer just hit one. And that one off the rim. Sixers settle into the half court. Neither team shooting it well in the fourth. Post up. Tried to repost Williamson. Korver, the baseline jumper.
Excuse me, assist. I think you give that to one of the Nets. It may be Carter.
And Kyle Korver now with 11. Also has 8 rebounds.
Yeah, he's done a solid job. He's becoming an NBA player.
Carter. Traveling.
Well, they could have called a jump ball situation because Carver got his hand on the basketball, but instead they give the turnover to Carter on the travel.
11th turnover of the night. Willie Green and the Sixers getting it done.
Someone has a love letter.
It's true. With NBA League Pass, you get up to 40 games a week. Yes, you can be a Kings fan in Philly and still watch them play. You think this year's rookies will be as good as last year? Do you want to follow your favorite fantasy players? Then NBA League Pass will make you a happier man.
Get NBA League Pass now for just $109. To order, call DirecTV, Dish Network, or your local cable provider.
Passion of college basketball is here on Yes, with top-ranked teams from the country's top-tier conferences. Wow! Tomorrow at 7:30, it's a Jersey Jamboree when Seton Hall takes on regional rival Rutgers, right here on Yes. Every thread must be strong, every stitch as important as the next. Every new piece must blend with the past to come together for one common goal. Lakers Nets. Pregame starts Wednesday at 7, right here on Yes.
The strong shooting of the Philadelphia 76ers, a big key here tonight. Sixers at 54% from the field. Nets have gone cold in the second half. Jim O'Brien, recent quote on the fast break, we are best when we run, and we can only run if we make stops. That's the secret to our team, that we want to be out on the break. Well, a similar philosophy in Boston when O'Brien was there. Fast break points here tonight.
If you remember,
13-11
Allen Iverson, the key to the fast break and what he's trying to do, and certainly have a guy like Allen Iverson who's so good on the dribble and speed and gets to the foul line. That's the reason why he wants to fast break.
Now Philadelphia can grab its largest lead of the night here with a bucket. Williamson using the muscle. Salmon's in there for Philly. Jackson is open, and a foul called. Vaughn grabbing at his left knee.
He ran into Mercer.
Yep, Salmon's is going to get the offensive foul. Looks like Vaughn's going to be able to jog it off.
One too many passes, as you see at the end of that, the collision, a couple of nets go down. Everybody okay.
A lot of minutes for Jason Kidd, 37 of them. Carter has 38. Kidd circling and driving, lost the ball. 12th net turnover. Collins steps in front of Williamson to intercept.
It was an awful pass from McKee. I don't know what he was looking at. There was a double team there. It was an easy pickoff.
Air ball, Carter. Very deep for Vince Carter.
And that was a long way away. And that fell very, very short.
33 points, 9 rebounds for Vince. But now 11 of 27 from the field. Korver misses from three-point territory.
Quick trigger, too. You know, need to be a little more patient. I'm sure Jimmy O'Brien thinking the same thing.
Kidd using the high screen from Carter. Double team. Kidd knew he missed it. Followed it up. And the pass to Mercer.
A late hero is Kidd. The last second had to get rid of that. Otherwise, he would have ate it.
A couple of jump shots for Ron Mercer as a foul is called on the floor against Carter. And that is going to be number 2 on Vince. 3rd team foul.
Here's Kidd on a drive to the basket. Stays with it. Now watch as he decides to go up at the last minute. He goes, I can't get this off. And the great recognition to find Mercer, who gave him a lane that he could see.
Vaughn went for the steal. Salmon's looking to take advantage with a pull-up. Soft touch.
Tough shot, too, because you're on the dribble. Is, again, one of those where you start at one point, and in the air, you cover a lot of ground and end up 3-4 feet closer.
88-80. Sixers. Collins to Mercer. 10 to shoot. Now Kidd in motion. Throws it up. It doesn't go, but a foul. And Jason Kidd will shoot 2 as Salmons picks up his second personal first team foul against Philly. Kidd is 2 of 2 from the line tonight. He's got 18 points, 13 assists, and 5 rebounds. Nate Kristich getting ready to check in. Another one coming for Kidd. Kristich in. And looks like Carter is going to get a rest.
He's going to give him a short blow, probably a couple minutes if he can get that much.
Put on a clinic in the first half, but second half has been an entirely different story. 2 out of 2 for Kidd. And the Nets once again within 6. Salmon's fending off Vaughn. Now Williamson looks, spread the floor with 12 to shoot. Korver, high-low action. And Williamson the flip.
Now they do such a good job in working their triangles as far as getting post-up position, and Williamson does the rest with that body.
Not much else from the rest of the Nets tonight, with Kidd and Carter leading the way. Kidd again in a crowd, the strength to get it up there. Kristich battling for it. Kidd tracks it down. Nets have plenty of time, but Vaughn will take the jump shot. And over the back, it's going the other way.
And Jackson has a few words for Kristich. Unfortunately, Mark, I'm not sure I'll understand you.
Loose ball foul on Kristich. It's number 4. And a timeout with the Nets down 8.
I pull the floor mats out and I stick.
90-82. Philadelphia with the lead with 5:21 to go, and a familiar face. Former Net Todd McCullough had a nice chat with him before the game. Now
saw him at halftime.
Radio for the Philadelphia 76ers. Just a terrific guy, one of the nicest individuals you'll ever meet. And Todd enjoying his time as now part of the media
Yeah, he had that feel for the media stuff. And, good sense of humor, and unfortunately he had to retire, but still part of basketball. And like I said, just as good a guy as you could possibly meet.
A Canadian, eh? He's got a different look on life. Right now, the Nets need a different look on defense. Try to stop Philadelphia here with the shot clock at 7. It's going the other way.
Williamson going to get called for a push-off, I believe, inside against Collins. Will be his third.
And turnover number 14.
Down low, trying to reverse the basketball, and if you get space between you and that arm comes out, usually you're going to get caught.
Carter getting ready to check back in. Next whistle. Mercer, the jumper. Count it. Ron Mercer, his third field goal of the quarter. 90-84. Collins went for the steal. Williamson drives in. Bank shot doesn't go. And Kidd with the rebound.
Not the shot he wanted. Too far away from the basket to start his drive.
Nets trying to inch closer. Mercer against McKee. Kidd has a post-up against Green. Now a clear out off the isolation. A cut. Vaughn. Contact and a foul. Jackson left his feet for a moment. Didn't have to. Right. Small against big.
That's the key thing in a heady play by Jacques Vaughn. Again, you don't need to jump against a smaller guy. Just use your size and your length with the arm up, but they got him off his feet.
They are going to get Korver on the personal foul, and now Dellenberg in for Jackson. Kenny Thomas returns for Philadelphia as McKee sits, and Vince Carter back in, replacing Nenad Kristic.
And just under 2 minutes of rest for Vince.
A minute 50 to be exact of game action. Vaughn at the line, 88%. And a friendly rim for Jacques Vaughn. It's a 5-point game. Kristic, frustrating night for Nenad. 4 points, 1 rebound. It never really got involved offensively. He had a tough time.
He's had his problems with
the Sixers big man.
Yeah. Even some of the other guys, like you mentioned, Jackson, because of his scoring ability.
Some pressure. Iguodala will handle it against Kidd. 90-86, 4:15 to play in the fourth quarter.
Willie Green back in for the Sixers as well. He's been huge.
Green loses the ball, trying to take a timeout. It's a jump. A big key, Kelly, when you watch the Nets now. You get to the final 4 minutes and change in a tight game as Vaughn hits the deck.
Good hustle. You see Green trying to call a timeout.
Nets consistently have had the 2 best players on the floor on their team. With Carter and Kidd, you keep it close, you got a shot.
Well, because they have explosiveness, and certainly Vince Carter, the one-on-one capabilities. It was a bad toss.
And it looks like Vaughn's going to pick up a foul. The call was made by Scott Wall. Joe Forte wants an explanation himself. And the Nets are over the limit.
They're going to say Vaughn took out. See Vaughn jumping into the jumper. That's where the call comes from. And actually the toss was to Vaughn's side, so it was favorable to him. But when he jumped up for the tip, he jumped across the line into the opposing player, who was Green.
Tough sequence for the Nets at the 4:07 mark of the fourth.
Good credit to the boys in the truck there. It was a good angle from up above.
Nets had a chance to control that ball and maybe cut the lead to 2. Instead, Green, 2 free throws.
Well, it's hard to argue after seeing that shot from above as far as crossing the line. You don't see it very often, granted that.
Have to put 2 more seconds back on the clock as they lost 2 seconds. Should be at 4:07. That was the time when they jumped it. And Joe Forte is trying to relay it. Thank you, Joe. 92-86, Philadelphia picking up full court. Iguodala against Carter. And Carter will bring it across. Under 4 minutes to play now. 6-point Philadelphia lead. Carter against Iguodala. Foul called. 3rd team foul. on Philadelphia, and Iguodala with his second. So a side out, 11 to shoot. Make it 14 to shoot on the reset. Here is Carter using the kid screen. Now a switch off. Carter's got Green. Takes it right to him. Kick out. Mercer lost the ball.
Didn't want to shoot the three. Didn't feel comfortable. And when he put it on the floor, he kicked it right to the Sixers.
Bad turnover with 3:35 to play. Carter being rooted out of the post area by Thomas. Carter holding his ground. Knocks it up in the air. Dellenbear's got it. 6 to shoot. He hands to Green. Carter slaps it away. It's a race to the rim. Mercer's got Carter behind him, and Mercer takes it himself.
Big turnover there by the Nets as they take advantage.
And Vaughn with a steal. Kidd is open. Missed it for 3. Tapped outside. Vaughn claims it. And a reset. 92-88.
And Jimmy O'Brien was calling for a timeout after the make by Mercer.
Carter, jumper, no! Kidd taps it out, and another offensive rebound.
Huge rebounds, opportunities for the Nets.
Carter searching for his shot. The back in against Thomas. Slapped away, Mercer's got it, jumper on the way. Side rim, rebounded by Carter, and a jump ball called.
Oh, you're going to get a tee, too. Yep.
Vince Carter picks up the technical. And a timeout for Philadelphia. Carter visibly upset after the jump ball. He felt he was fouled off the rebound action. And it looked like a clean tie-up by Iguodala. The frustration coming out of Carter, who can't seem to find his shot. Timeout. Keep it here after the final buzzer, the Nissan postgame. Bob Lorenz, Leslie Bogosian, interviews, analysis, scores, and highlights from around the NBA. The Nissan postgame, it's coming up only on Yes. Kyle Korver, excellent free throw shooter, and he misses at the line. Now, the technical coming at a critical moment, uncharacteristic from Carter. Clearly frustrated over what he thought was a personal foul on Iguodala. Instead, a tie-up, and 2 high flyers will now jump it up.
Absolutely. Iguodala and Carter both get up well.
And Nets control it.
A big miss there by Korver, as you mentioned, on the technical free throw at 89%. Almost automatic, didn't get it.
Carter, spin. Count it! On the bank! And Vince Carter, 10,000 points in his NBA career.
Congratulations, but he's got other worries right now.
It's a 2-point game as we approach 2 minutes to go. Green gives up his dribble. Williamson. Foul called. Williamson going to the hole.
Well, determined Vince Carter on that shot after winning the tip.
And the foul on Collins. It's number 5.
Gonna look at it. Quick spin and off the window. 10,000 for Vince.
Corliss Williamson, 81% on the season. And the first one is good. Back to a 4-point lead potentially for Philadelphia with another make. On a night where the Nets are shooting 41% from the field, Sixers are shooting 54%, and it's a 3-point game with 2:04 to go. 93-90. Nets trail. Kidd looking for Carter against Iguodala. 10 to shoot. Carter makes his move. And out of bounds off Philadelphia with 7 to shoot.
They forced him baseline, and Philly does a good job of clogging things up. Lawrence Frank will take a timeout, 22nd variety.
A 22nd timeout at the 1:48 mark. Fourth quarter.
Just 7 on the shot clock. And Lawrence wants to make sure they're all on the same page.
Have to imagine that Philadelphia is going to put all of its attention to Vince Carter. You wonder if the Nets off an inbounds will look elsewhere, trying to find someone else getting towards the rim.
Well, I mean, they want to get the best shot available. I think defensively with Philadelphia, Jim O'Brien, they don't want to put so much attention into Vince Carter that you leave someone open behind the three-point line. In a 2, still a lot of time, but they could be much more advantageous for Philadelphia to play with a lead rather than have the Nets tie it with a three-point shot. But certainly Lawrence want to make sure that we get the right type of shot and go to the right guy.
Off the inbound, Kidd to Collins. Bumping, offensive foul. He's done for the night.
Yeah, lowering that shoulder. Unfortunately, that was a great play. Perfect setup. Probably an unexpected guy to get the ball, but you know, sometimes that's how it works if you run a play correctly. Unfortunately, it looked like Collins may have bobbled that, or needless to say, he put that shoulder down.
And Kristich is going to come into the game. Billy Thomas checks in as well. Collins leaves with 9 points, 4 rebounds.
Little pick-the-picker action, and put that shoulder down. And remember, you said it before, Kristich having a tough night comes into the ball game. Hasn't been a factor. Now has to guard Thomas, too.
Very tough assignment for Namath. Green to Williamson. He's matched up with Kidd. Now looking to switch. Carter.
Surprised they're not going to Thomas in the low post.
And it's Green against Carter. It's Williamson against Kidd. Pulling his way.
Nice job defensively there by Kidd.
And Kristich gathers in. Kidd throws away the wristband. Takes it to the rim. The dish. And a foul called. Mercer's shot will not count, and the Sixers had a foul to give. On the pass-off, Nets retain it with a side out, 18 to shoot, a minute 18 on the clock.
How about Kidd able to dribble and discard something without breaking a beat?
He's a multitasker. And the Nets trail by 3. Carter lobs it in for Kidd. Plenty of time to work with on the shot clock. Switch off. Iguodala against Kidd, 12 to shoot. The back end, Thomas, ball fake. Carter sliding over defensively. Iguodala, contact, floater, buries it, and a foul.
Tough shot.
Vince Carter with a chance to tie. 37 for Vince.
One-on-one, shot clock going down. And Vince gets the call, count the bucket. Iguodala can't believe it.
Bottom on the free throw. We are tied at 93 with 1:05 left to go. Timeout, Sixers. We will keep it right here with just over a minute to play. Philadelphia has gone 4.5 minutes without a field goal. Vince Carter has rediscovered his touch here in the late stages of the fourth. A brand new ball game with 1:05 on the clock.
Last play, Kidd gives a handoff to Carter. I'm sorry, Carter will get the ball, and then one-on-one at the end of it. Iguodala, you see, he's showing his hands up in the air. Carter's the one that initiated the contact, and the bench loves it as Carter able to use it, count the bucket, and he gets the free throw as well.
Nets have outscored Philadelphia, much to the delight of the fans here, 7-1 since that Vince Carter breather, and maybe came in a bit refreshed for the stretch run.
A couple of missed free throws have also hurt the Philadelphia 76ers. Remember those, the technical miss by Korver and the second one of a 2-shot foul by Williamson. So that looms large as well as the Nets will look to try to set up something defensively here.
1:05 left to play. Nets look like this was going to be a laugher in the first half, the way they were stroking the ball from the outside. Philadelphia battled back. Third quarter actually took control of the game. The pacing, their philosophy of getting the ball to the rim had really taken hold. But here in the fourth, Nets have come alive. We are tied at 93. Sixers ball, under a minute to go.
You got to be aware of the low post guys on the post up. It's been good for him, and don't forget about the shooter on the outside, particularly Green and Korver.
Look at Kidd trying to battle with Williamson. This is Green against Carter. Left hand, too much English. Kidd with the rebound. 40 seconds left. Nets looking for the lead. Here's Kidd, misdirection to the rim. Kick out. Thomas, a three. And rebounded by Kidd.
A huge rebound. Again, offensive opportunities by the Nets.
8-second difference. Shot clock, the game clock. Carter wants the clear out. Carter, the drive, lost it. Tried to tip it up, and a collision. Korver's got it. Shot clock is turned off. And a timeout. With 13.9 remaining.
I was wondering why Philadelphia didn't call timeout right away, but it was Willie Green who didn't have the ball, called timeout the last second.
We'll step aside and come back for the final seconds of regulation. As a 20, 13.9 on the clock, tied at 93. Jason Kidd, 62nd career triple-double after this board following the Green miss. And then Vince Carter trying to do it himself, lost it.
Yeah, Iguodala got a hand on it and then tried to push it up to the rim, and that's where Sixers came up with it. Willie Green had called timeout as the Sixers approached half court.
Shot clock has been turned off.
And if you're Philadelphia here with the last shot, they should make sure that it's the last shot, make or miss.
Korver looking to trigger. Green comes towards the ball. They get it to Thomas. 12 seconds left. Thomas against Kristich. Into the hands of Green. 8 seconds left. Green on the dribble. 4 seconds against Kidd. Green. Jumper for the win. No! We're going to overtime.
Surprised at that. Good defense from the Nets. They didn't look to do anything. They didn't run a play. It was just Willie Green one-on-one.
Second meeting of the season between these two teams, and the second time that they will play an extra session. As we get ready for overtime here at Continental Airlines Arena, Sixers had an opportunity to win it at the Horn.
Well, not much of a play, just one-on-one. Solid defense from Kidd, and you take your chances with Willie Green pulling up. You know, no screen, no nothing there for Philadelphia, and easy for the defense. And you get a look at Korver getting ready. There's the bench. And Korver disappointed. The Nets will take overtime.
Well, the 76ers 3-2 in overtimes this season. The Nets 2-3. 5 minutes on the clock. I think that would have been Allen Iverson's shot.
No question.
Yeah.
But I think they would have tried to put him in a situation where you know, they give him a screen and then draw, and he'd be either there for his shot or passing to an open teammate on a double.
Nets outscored the 76ers 11-3 over the final 5:45 to force this game into OT. Held the Sixers without a field goal. Philadelphia controls the tip. Here is Iguodala. Now the switch off. Iguodala looking to dump it inside. Thomas against Thomas. Iguodala's jumper, no good. And Kidd allows it to go out of bounds.
Not his shot. Iguodala forcing. You see the Nets defensively have to really crowd the middle. They're trying to take away the inside play.
Nets are playing with Kidd, Thomas, Carter, Kristich, and Mercer in the extra session. Carter has 38 points. Looking to go back-to-back 40-plus. Kristich a back in. It's been a quiet night. Kristich, and Dellenberg gets him again.
Yes, Dellenberg has his number. Kristich is wearing 12, and Dellenberg knows it.
Offensive end for Philly. Green's pull-up. Knocks it down.
No, unfortunately for Willie Green, he would have liked to have that one on the last possession. Instead, he knocks it down. First bucket of the overtime.
Bridging the fourth quarter and overtime, Sixers went 6 minutes and 40 seconds without a field goal. Here is Carter, the answer. Yes! Vince Carter, a three.
Long range. about 32 attempts from three. They've made 12.
He's got 41, and the Nets in front by 1. The back end, Thomas, Carter defending it. Thomas, drop step, no good. And a foul called as Thomas hit the deck. It is going to be Carter, number 3.
Gonna look at the drop step move, and he goes up and falls on the ground.
Fans wanted a technical because Kenny Thomas tossed the ball in the air, much like Vince Carter did at the end of regulation that warranted a tee. Here's Green swinging it. D'Alembert mismatch, and they leave him alone.
There's a
D'Alembert.
reason why.
Carter the rebound.
Sam got a little too impatient there.
Nets with a 1-point lead, approaching 3 minutes to go in overtime. Kidd spinning, kick out. Mercer puts it in inside the arc. Ron Mercer providing a spark tonight off the bench. He's got 10.
Yeah, just hanging around on the outside, waiting for a look.
An additional score at the disposal of Lawrence Frank. Kenny Thomas trying to get involved, and it rims out. Fight for the loose ball. And it's staying right here. A loose ball foul against the Nets.
Good battle.
It is Billy Thomas picking it up. 2:46 mark of OT. And now Jim O'Brien's going to make the change. Williamson for D'Alembert.
Interesting. He's going with more offense. And they go a lot smaller with Williamson in there, being guarded now by Kristich.
98-95, drop it inside. Offensive foul. It's Thomas picking it up as Carter took a shot.
That's his third personal foul.
The fend-off caught the official's attention. Kidd the blow-by, and the bucket.
It's the second time he's given up the baseline, and Kidd willingly takes it.
100-95. 2:33 to go in overtime. Nets 95, 2:33 to play in overtime. Another look at the offensive foul on Thomas. Jim O'Brien upset at the call. And then Jason Kidd able to get around the corner. And the Nets react.
It's almost as if Willie Green thought that he had D'Alembert back there. Yep. Just giving up the baseline and can't do that.
Quick note, Nets history. Vince Carter has gone back-to-back 40-plus point efforts. Last net to do it, Super John Williamson, 1978.
A while ago.
100-95. Nets in front. Drop it inside. Williamson. Tight defense. And no whistle. Kidd will get it ahead. Trying to add to a 5-point lead. We approach 2 minutes to go in OT.
And the pace has been the Nets here in overtime.
Here's Kidd. Mercer, hot hand. Got it!
Nice to make a living making open shots. I mean, he's uncontested.
Ron Mercer, 12 points, all of it in the fourth quarter and overtime. Green. He drops it in from the outside. Willie Green.
It's almost as if Philadelphia have been so concerned about trying to get the ball inside. They're passing up opportunities because the Nets defense is really collapsing. They're trying to take away the inside.
102-97. Kidd one-on-one with Green. 8 to shoot. No look feed.
Same
Mercer
spot.
missed it. And a loose ball foul on Kristich. It's number 5.
Loose ball foul number 12, Kristich.
Ron Mercer had another open look.
Yeah, he hasn't left that spot.
102-97. A minute 28 left to play in overtime. Green, hard drive. Williamson will take the jumper. Short, And Kidd with the rebound.
Can't ask for a better look. He just short-armed it, though.
62nd triple-double of his NBA career tonight. 22 points, 16 assists, 11 boards. Kidd, crossover, inside. Kristich draws the foul on Korver.
And that's the chance they take when they go small defensively. Now Kristich doesn't have to worry about a shot blocker in there. Trying to zone it up, and Kristich open. Korver comes over late, gets a piece.
Nenad Kristich at the line. 71% on the season. Kristich, 5 points, 3 rebounds. Misses on the second. And Mercer comes up with the offensive rebound.
Good hustle.
Carter, isolation. Carter, the drive. Foul call.
Right now they're owning the whistle.
Forcing his will, Vince Carter. And a side out. Or is it? Carter's going to get the free throw. And Sixers over the limit in the penalty situation. So Carter will shoot a pair. 58.5 seconds left in OT. 42 points for Carter. It's as if Philadelphia had enough without Allen Iverson to get to overtime, but now when they need that breakdown player on offense, he's not there.
Well, they got themselves behind the 8 ball. There's no question about it. They had an opportunity at the end of the ball game. They let slip away, and the Nets took advantage of it to the end of regulation, and they played their game here in overtime in
tonight. When the Nets play host to the Los Angeles Lakers, we'll have it for you here on Yes. 105-97.
Good
under a minute left.
Mercer there on Korver.
We are in overtime. Green inside. Williamson can't catch it, and it's out of bounds. The Nets 48.7 seconds away from a come-from-behind victory. Carter gives it up. Lawrence Frank wants the Nets to spread the floor, use as much clock.
Clock's their friend. You don't need any more points, basically. You'll even take a 24-second violation, though I'm not sure Lawrence will be happy about that.
Now Mercer will take the jumper and connects the dagger.
He got in a little bit of a groove.
Good time management as opposed to last night at the Super Bowl as Carter comes up with a rebound, and that will do it. Gutty win for the Nets. Vince Carter, back-to-back 40-plus point efforts. The Nets have won 5 in a row.